Why secret millionaires stay quiet. The psychology of invisible wealth.
It begins with something almost invisible, a quiet pattern hiding in plain sight. Most people pass it every day without realizing what they're seeing. Imagine a man walking into a neighborhood cafe just after sunrise. He looks completely ordinary, blending into the morning crowd without attracting any attention. There's no luxury watch, no designer logo, and no expensive shoes. Nothing about him tries to convince the world that he's successful. He orders the same black coffee, smiles politely, and opens a worn notebook. Quiet routines often reveal more than expensive possessions ever could. To everyone else, he's just another customer. Nobody stops to look twice. And that's exactly how he prefers it.
The wealthiest people rarely feel the need to announce themselves. In many cases, they intentionally choose not to stand out. We've been taught to recognize success through visible symbols, luxury cars, massive homes, designer clothing, and anything that attracts admiration. But real wealth usually behaves differently. Those who truly understand money often make the smallest effort to display it publicly. They aren't hiding because they're insecure. They're protecting something far more valuable than appearances: time, focus, and personal freedom. Once you notice this pattern, you'll begin seeing it everywhere. The richest people are often the ones you never notice at all.
Human beings have always been drawn to status. Long before money existed, survival often depended on recognizing who controlled valuable resources. The strongest hunter, the safest shelter, and the largest food supply weren't just symbols. They signaled security, influence, and a better chance of survival. That ancient instinct never disappeared. It simply evolved, shaping how we judge success in the modern world without even realizing it. Today, expensive possessions still trigger automatic assumptions. We often mistake appearance for intelligence, competence, and even trustworthiness. Psychologists call this the halo effect. One visible sign of success quietly influences how we judge everything else about a person.
But here's the irony. Those who truly understand wealth know exactly how easily appearances can manipulate people's perception. That's why many successful people stop performing success. They no longer feel the need to impress strangers with expensive possessions. Researchers studying self-made millionaires found something surprising. Many lived in ordinary neighborhoods and drove practical, reliable cars. Even after achieving financial success, many continued wearing simple clothes and living modest lifestyles that attracted very little attention. At first, that seems strange. Why work so hard to build wealth if you have no desire to make it obvious?
The answer goes far beyond humility. It begins with understanding that every purchase creates responsibilities that often last much longer than the excitement. A larger house needs more maintenance. An expensive car needs higher insurance. Luxury rarely arrives without hidden costs attached. What feels like a reward today can quietly become another obligation tomorrow. Freedom slowly turns into responsibility without you even noticing. That's why financially intelligent people ask a different question. Not, can I afford this, but what will this cost me later? Most people believe becoming rich means owning more things. Many millionaires spend their lives mastering the exact opposite.
They become extremely selective. Every purchase must earn its place by creating value instead of simply attracting attention. This creates two completely different financial lives. One spends money to impress others. The other spends money to create more choices. The difference seems small in the beginning, but over time, those small decisions produce dramatically different futures. Imagine two people earning exactly the same salary. Their income is identical, but their decisions quietly begin pulling them apart. One upgrades every visible part of life. The other quietly invests in opportunities that most people will never see until years later.
Every raise becomes an excuse for a bigger lifestyle. A better apartment, a newer car, and more expensive habits quickly become the new normal. For a moment, each upgrade feels exciting, but that excitement slowly fades as today's luxury becomes tomorrow's ordinary routine. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. We quickly adjust to improvements, leaving us searching for the next thing to feel satisfied again. The finish line keeps moving. The more we chase comfort through possessions, the harder lasting satisfaction becomes to find. Meanwhile, the second person follows a quieter path. Income grows, but their lifestyle changes very little from the outside. Instead of buying more, they quietly build investments, develop valuable skills, and create financial reserves for the future. Years pass. From the outside, both lives appear similar. But beneath the surface, completely different realities are beginning to emerge. One becomes wealthier in appearance. The other becomes wealthier in possibilities, with more freedom to choose how life unfolds. And possibility may be the greatest luxury money can ever provide. It quietly opens doors that status symbols never can. Because true wealth isn't about living extravagantly. It's about having the freedom to decide what happens next on your own terms. Real wealth gives you the freedom to walk away from work that drains your peace, instead of staying because you have no other choice. It gives you the patience to wait for the right opportunity, rather than making desperate decisions under financial pressure. It gives you the confidence to say no without fear, because your surviving no longer depends on pleasing everyone around you. This kind of wealth can't be photographed. It can't be measured by likes, followers, or the opinions of strangers online. Ironically, the most valuable things money can buy often look completely ordinary to everyone else. History has repeated the same lesson for generations. Visible wealth attracts more than admiration. It also attracts unwanted attention. Attention brings expectations, comparisons, competition, and sometimes envy. The more visible your wealth becomes, the more expensive that attention can be. That's why many financially successful people value privacy almost as much as they value money itself. Anonymity protects focus, and focus protects the habits that quietly continue building wealth year after year. The goal was never to look rich. The goal was always to live with greater freedom, greater peace, and greater control over life. So ask yourself this: if the truly wealthy rarely advertise their success, who benefits from making everyone else believe that wealth must always look expensive? The answer reveals one of the oldest psychological illusions ever created. We confuse the appearance of wealth with the reality of financial freedom. Once you recognize that illusion, you begin seeing ordinary people in a completely different way. Quiet no longer means unsuccessful. The person driving an older car or wearing simple clothes may be building a future that others cannot yet see. Real wealth grows silently. Like the roots of a great tree, its greatest strength develops where almost nobody is looking. From the outside, two lives may look almost identical, but inside,
One is filled with obligations, while the other is filled with opportunities. The greatest luxury money can ever buy isn't comfort. It's the ability to choose your own path without fear controlling every decision. The freedom to walk away, the patience to wait, the confidence to say no. Those are the rewards that never need to be displayed. Perhaps the wealthiest person you've ever passed was someone you never noticed. And perhaps that was exactly how they wanted it. Because real wealth isn't measured by what people can see. It's measured by the quiet freedom to live life on your own terms.